Okay, so last but not least, air element for a material manifestation. So I use the same overarching energy as for all of the elementals. So I use Ganesha to help me channel that big picture. And then the only thing that would change would be the specific intentions, which were basically my next steps in achieving my goal. And that would change according to the elementals, because all the elementals so far have presented themselves to me and in ways that really made clear, like, hey, you need to be looking at it from this perspective. Maybe this is your next step here, and that kind of stuff. So that was really cool. The next steps with air element I found were mainly based in ideas and my own perspective towards things. So even though this happened with all of the elementals, air really focused on what I was telling myself and how the ideas circulating in my head were affecting my performance and affecting my manifestation and how that was coming about. So it became very, very apparent. I I made the mistake of, I didn't make a mistake, but I asked for, one of the things was like, I wanted to have ideas that are like new and innovative and creative, so then I can, go and do this and learn blah, 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 blah. And that worked really well, but there were a lot of ideas that kept coming in my head. And so it was sort of hard for me to organize. I would keep getting these awesome downloads and shit like that, but I wouldn't necessarily have a place to put them because it was just so much. So I had to really slow down on the ideas and instead be like, okay, can we do like one download at a time or something like that, because it became a lot. It'd be like, oh, well, this is a good idea, and this is a good idea, and this is an opportunity, and this is an opportunity, and then we have this, and it just kind of got crazy. So with air element, what helped me move through that was having a focused mentality. So focus and discipline was fucking awesome. Air element did not help me in attaining focus and discipline, but it helped support the focus and discipline. Like when I went into it, I was like, okay, I'm going to, especially after I started receiving all the downloads, I was like, all right, I'm gonna really just get on my A game and focus. And air element supported that awesome. Like there was just so many confirmations and affirmations coming into my head and from the environment around me that was just supporting focus and discipline. So that was really cool. And that's when air element really started helping me manifest shit. And the way how it presented itself too would be that the people around me would start sharing ideas or their dreams with me, like their future goals or something like that. They and creative ideas that they had. It wasn't the same as the water element. Water element was very much about building connection. Air element was more like exchanging information. So everyone around me, we were all exchanging information. And that was pretty awesome, because then I would get like really good ideas that would help me create the next step for my manifestation. Another thing I noticed too, on a more subtle level, was that I could sense the energy in the room and change it. So I had a situation where I was at a friend's house and there was some drama going on, and I was just like chilling, but he had his day to go through, and so he was kind of like tripping, and you could just feel the angst in the house amongst the roommates and him and that kind of stuff. And so I just kind of like shut down and was sort of like meditating and was like, all right, we're just gonna chill with this. And I saw these waves of like circular energy coming from where he was and all around the house. And I could feel the emotion attached to this pinwheel of energy coming from people. And I was able to recognize my own pinwheel. And I was like above theirs. I was able to kind of float above theirs and then transmute that energy in the house to something more calm. And it was cool because as soon as I did that, they all started getting along and like shit started working out. So what I found was that air element can be really good for improving. I think it's really good for like improving transmutation abilities. So being able to transmute energy in the room. I was also in another experiment I was doing, I was using it for psychic intuition. That one was pretty intense. It does work really well for psychic intuition and stuff like that, but again, with those downloads, it'll just like come flooding through. So you really have to have discipline when working with air element, because yeah, I found that it could kind of just take you anywhere. But yeah, and like I said, people were telling me stories, ideas, and then yeah, a lot of it was just like the exchange of information coming in, and that made my next steps toward my manifestation more clear. So that was how the air element presented itself to me. Write in the comments as to how it presented itself to you, so then we can all help each other in recognizing when air element is present in our lives, and when we're working with it, kind of what to expect. When working with air element, I recommend using focus and discipline as your main priority when receiving information when working with the air element, because you can easily get distracted and overwhelmed by all of the shit coming through. So keep it simple. All right, so many blessings on your journeys, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.